And we are live. My name's JP Berg, and this is Dumb the Wiser. So I decided to do an episode today relative to a lot of the drama that's going on X with all of the shill accounts. It's far from merely me that are calling them out. We're all ready for some independent voices, and these people are just simply not. What we're seeing with a lot of these people, these Marios, these plebs, they're essentially giving you the exact same carefully constructed and cultivated narratives that you guys were receiving from the corporate press swill merchants. In this instance, it's just the antithetical ideology. It's relative to conservatives. It's like Fox News in America is a controlled opposition conservative channel, and now in Canada we're seemingly having that arrange itself in real time on X. At the same time, they have bots. Like, I've never been attacked like I'm being attacked now. I've been calling out the Uniparty since well before the election, and I've never been swarmed like I am now. These bot accounts, and they're just juvenile ad hominem. It's really terrible. There's not a modicum of decorum. They're not looking to engage. I've called several of them out. Like, let's go live then. I mean, I have no problem. I'll take on. I debate in good faith. I'm a very honest individual. I'm not trying to, validate my inflated impression of myself. I'm genuinely searching for the truth. And when I see Pierre Poilievre, I see a feckless, controlled opposition actor, sloppily regurgitating scripted rhetoric and slogans when we need someone who's going to start looking at pragmatic, practical solutions. And it's not even that. Like, the whole establishment in Canada, the entirety of our Westminster parliamentary system, all of our institutions have been subverted. Look at what's occurring in BC with the property rights. There's radical activists that interpret everything through a very Marxian framework, or more appropriately, a Marcusean critical theory framework, where everyone's reduced down to oppressor or oppressed. How do they determine if you're an oppressor or an oppressed? Is relative to your immutable characteristics, of course. The individual is being just reduced to their skin color. Then you're being categorized. And it's funny. You hear a lot of people talk about Maple MAGA and the significance of this. But what I'm seeing essentially is Maple Maoism. This is a westernized Maoism, or a cultural revolution. And they endeavor to divide us based upon every metric. I mean, I'll tell you the truth, man. Like, I've got 29,000 followers. I probably wouldn't if I wasn't initially culture war grifting. I came on X about two years and a few months now. And I got on here. I'm a conservative leaning individual ideologically. And I started sticking it to the libs, man. That was my whole premise. I was fighting. I was like biting right onto the bait. And that's what this is. It's this right-left, this synthetic right-left dialectic. And that's how they hurt us. And they don't care. Like, there's these big sensationalized, polarizing narratives that come to the forefront to keep us distracted. It's like your classic Penn and Teller misdirection. The most pertinent issue that faces the citizenry of Canada presently is the passage of this globalist legislation. Bills C8 and C9. C8 introduced by Melanie Joly, which would give her the express ability to just kick you off of the internet. No problem. You're gone off the internet. They can cut your cell phone service. There's no oversight to this. And then there, as a caveat to this bill, there's you can't tell anyone what happened. So people will just be disappearing from the digital scene. You'll just notice, like, people you were following on X disappear. They can't even come on to tell you, yeah, I've been kicked off the internet by my totalitarian government. And then we have C9 that was introduced by Sean Fraser. Sean Fraser being a very interesting case. Sean Fraser got out of public service. He was out. And I find it very hard to believe. It doesn't make sense as a framing that this individual will come back on his own behest. Like, Carney's in town now, and he's so thrilled to work with Mark Carney, the central banking WEF member, that he comes back out of retirement and he joins the cabinet. Don't believe it for a minute. I think it's a Godfather type scenario. I think the reason everyone was shocked that Carney kept the cabinet, it's like they penetrated the cabinet. So it was crucial. It's crucial for him to keep them. These people have been compromised. I truly believe that. And I think that's why Sean Fraser was drugged back in. I believe that he's been compromised in some way, and they're utilizing him to pass Bill C-9, which is a reinterpretation of hate legislatively. Essentially, this will work exactly as the Online Harms Act has in the UK. Keir Starmer's Online Harms Act was essentially utilized to silence all opposition. Any slight deviation from the rigid and radical progressive orthodoxy is then construed as dis, or malinformation. Any rational or relevant criticisms to their detrimental policies, namely their detrimental mass immigration policies, well, that will be hate speech. Dissent will not be tolerated. They've jailed tens of thousands of people, British citizens, for social media posts. Andrew Layton, the True North dude, he grilled Sean Fraser in Parliament, and I watched it, and I watched it with the sound down, and you could see Sean Fraser's face getting flushed just when presented with the slightest amount of scrutiny regarding the constitutionality of this. He's squirming in his skin. His face is flushed. That indicates to me that he knows exactly what he's doing. On some level, he knows it's wrong too, but they're just implementing the agenda. Bigger forces at play here, guys. So let's check the chat here. We have Prairie. Good day, JP. Good day, Prairie. God bless you, my dear. And we have Elaine. Yes, this is the Hill, C8 and C9. It's the Hill, and it's the one thing they don't want us discussing. They'll dredge up Trudeau. It's like I was making a joke, like the writing staff of this season of Canada should be canned. It's just utterly unbelievable. Like, they bring Trudeau back into the picture, and they pair him up with Katy Perry on a Love Boat. And now when he's now brought back into the public forefront, then Pierre Poilievre goes on, what's that podcast? Naive Perspectives. That's what it's called, I think. Naive Perspective. And he sits down with the husband and wife duo where they give him an absolute cakewalk. They don't ask him one question. We're all wondering, everyone in the electorate, every legitimate independent person in the electorate is just astounded that the official opposition is not speaking about C8 and C9 endlessly. He's had a few of his ministers mention it, but that's not enough, man. Like, he needs to speak to it. And it's phenomenal that he's not. And it's even more phenomenal that these people are protecting him as opposed to scrutinizing him. I don't know if you guys heard of this concept, but the fourth estate, the media in a democratic society, is intended to function as a foundational pillar. They have a very crucial functional premise, and that's to condense the complexity of our political system and to provide a digestible summation to the electorate, to inform the electorate, and to have some integrity, to be non-biased. These people are worshiping Pierre Poilievre. It's unbelievable, man. It's like that's what we've been reduced to, kayfabe. I'm telling you, man, in ancient Rome, they had bread and circuses to distract the peasantry. In modernity, we've made politics the circus and politicians the clowns, sincerely. But the joke is on us because the vast majority of us still think it's real. We argue with one another over it. It's phenomenal to me at this point. What's happening in Canada is not happening in a vacuum. It's happening in all of the Commonwealth countries, in most of the EU countries, in South America. It's happening everywhere, in Japan. It's the agenda. What are the odds? I'll put it to you this way. What are the odds that in all of our independent nations, the powers that be decided, beyond the people weren't asking for it, they decided to enact the same immensely detrimental policies? Weaponize mass migration in conjunction with the Cloud Piven strategy to destabilize our systems, balkanize the electorate. All of the Malthusian, neo-Malthusian climate change nonsense and carbon taxation. The Orwellian level censorship, the dystopia level censorship that they're trying to introduce. That's crucial. They won't be able to introduce anything else until they silence us. Bill C8 and C9 does that. efficaciously. They endeavor to remove our tongues so the rest of the world can't hear our screams. And I'm not attempting or endeavoring to be hyperbolous by that. I truly mean that. It's not looking good, guys. And I'm not trying to black pill everyone. Everyone says that, like, oh, you're just such a black pill. It's like, why? Because I refuse to live within the parameters of an illusion, of an elaborate charade. You guys think Pierre Poilievre is real? It's like these calls for Justin Trudeau to be arrested. It's adorable. Do you guys think that Justin Trudeau or anyone like Justin Trudeau actually gets anywhere near the levers of power? This is the public face. This is the public face to provide us, the peasantry, with the illusion of participatory governance. All of these decisions are made by, I would say, made in rooms far away from public scrutiny by individuals that we likely would not recognize. That's my personal theory. So we have Thunderbird World Media here to listen and learn something and share with others around the world. Awesome, man. That's the ticket. Like I said, I was mentioning, there's a lot of disingenuous characters on here. That's what inspired me to start speaking and make this podcast. I came on here, I followed some of these big conservative accounts, the Pleb Trucker and all these like Cat Canada and all these people, and all they are essentially cheerleaders. Like they don't even attempt to kind of present the optics like they have a modicum of objectivity. They just blatantly hero worship this guy. It's like that Mark Slapinski dude. It's like I think he might be just playing a character, having a troll on all of us, but he posts these hyper masculine like AI images of Pierre Poilievre, and then these really douchey selfies. It's like, holy, like, I don't know, man. Half of them are very much, I believe, controlled in some way, or they're working in unison with one another for the CPC. And then many of them are just audience captured. They're using this moment to culture war grift and to legitimize the controlled opposition in Pierre Poilievre. That's the worst part, honestly. It's like right now we're in trouble, man. Like our country is not getting any better. We're not seeing any trajectory that's indicating that it's going to get any better. And we're kept divided with this big ideological division, right? The left versus right. I'm just over it, man. I'm not saying left versus right preferences don't exist. I'll explain it. What I'm saying is we're genetically predisposed to a certain temperament, and then we're temperamentally predisposed to certain political leanings. There's a lot of data that indicates conclusively that those high in openness and creativity tend to lean to the left, and those high in orderliness and conscientiousness tend to lean to the right. So this is a natural dialectic. But I mean, the vast majority of the people are more moderate in their opinions. That's why you hear people, oh, it's the left, it's the right. What that allows us to do is collectivize. We stop seeing individuals and we start seeing a member of an out group, a member of a collective. And once we do that, man, we could dehumanize. We're capable of rationalizing absolute atrocities. That's how the psychological functionality of it works. It's the same thing that people did any other time we did truly horrendous things to each other. So I like the culture war grifting. I was guilty of it until I seen what it was. Like we're being heard at. They don't care what side of these various issues you fall on. Neither. It's just a tool of division. That's all it is. It's to keep us divided and fighting and looking at each other instead of looking up, looking at our system itself and the institutions that have been subverted. I want to check this chat out here. Prairie Northern perspectives. I can't stand them too. I thought it was naive perspectives. I do apologize sincerely. Thank you, Prairie, for clarifying that. Northern perspectives. We have MS8719. Good afternoon, JP. Good afternoon, my dear. I hope all is well. So the chat's pretty low. We got about 87 watching live. If you guys can all share this stream, it's very advantageous for me. I'm immeasurably deboosted. My analytics are like almost going minus now. So any little bit of help I can get, I appreciate it immensely. So yeah, that's where we're at, man. It seems now since this last little algorithm tweak on X, it's worse than ever. I look at some of these Pierre Polyev cheerleader accounts like Jingle High or whatever, and it's like the action he gets. He's got half of my followers, if that, and he's like surging in the algorithm, and it's not relative to his content. He's posting AI images of Pierre and worshiping him. There's no insight offered. There's no scrutiny. There's no, opinion offered. It's just low resolution pablum for the masses. That's what they think of you guys too. They're just going to throw us all on here and we're going to argue with all these bots that perpetuate the division. They want us looking at each other. That's just the simplest way of putting it. But an account I follow, Alex Cargill, got into it and challenged Mario, this floating head. I don't know his full name, Zelaya or something is an ethnic name, but he's just like this floating head, monotone, vacuous culture war grifter, like just floating behind an article. And this is what the liberals did, and like we got to get Pierre Polyev in there. Yeah, it's unbelievable. Like I'm watching his content and I'm just like, this is making me stupid. It makes me feel stupid. And that's what they think of you. These are the people they're paying money to keep you locked in this uniparty. And it is a uniparty. I supported PPC last election. I don't advocate for politicians. I always scrutinize public servants. But in the end, on election day, I said my wife and I will be supporting the only populist option. But my thing, look, man, you support who you want, but if you support the uniparty, it's an exercise, not in futility. It's you're literally directly participating in your own subjugation. It's the same thing. Harper signed all of the things that Trudeau continued with. Like there's a lot of people that break this all down specifically. It's like I'm more of a bigger picture guy. And at this point, if you're still looking at this and your intuition is telling you it's all above board, then I think you're in denial. I think you're in denial, or you're potentially very ignorant. Because I mean, it's never been more obvious. Let's just go back and look at some facts here. So Canada is in a rough spot, man. It's peak COVID. The trucker convoy's happening. Like there's a large contingent of disillusioned Canadians that have had enough of the status quo and have lost faith in institutional power. We lost faith in our government. And then at the time you had Aaron O'Toole and Andrew Scheer. They're virtually identical to the Liberals. They're very, very feckless center type policies. And we had the PPC endeavoring to establish themselves within the electorate at a moment when they could. A lot of people were thinking more populism at this point relative to the overreach during COVID and the trucker convoy, the overreaching relative to that. I mean, there was a moment where the people might actually be able to get some representation in Parliament. So, I mean, I think this terrified the establishment. And I think they endeavored to throw the kitchen sink at it. All of the psyops, all of their big shill accounts, and then all of the people that follow those shill accounts will sloppily regurgitate the lines they were programmed to, right? And it's just all the same don't split the vote stuff. But Maxime Bernier works with the Liberals. It's like, man, it's the same shit, man. And now, like I said, there must be an election close because the bot accounts on X convoluting the discourse are next level. Next level. They got like 1,000 followers. No one, it's seemingly all bots following them. And they're essentially attack dogs for the narrative, attack dogs for the uniparty. And if you deviate, they attack you, man. And it's important to remember while you're on here and you're speaking your mind, not to be demoralized by a lot of these naysayers, because they'll come on, man. They'll attack you on your grammar or your spelling. They're endeavoring to make you feel insecure about speaking out. And psychologically, that's a powerful disincentive for a lot of people. I know I'm pretty dumb, so I don't care. Hence the show Dumb the Wiser. You guys, I'm called things all the time. I have very, very thick skin. But on the flip side of that advice, when you get on here and you start garnering attention from people, you can't let it go to your head and blow your head up, man. You can't be walking around like the truck pleb, like you're a celebrity now. It's like, I mean, you can if you want, but I mean, it's utterly disgraceful, and you look like a fool, and you lose all your credibility. That's where I'm at now with these people that are still propping up Mr. Polyev like he's the second coming. It's hard for me to wrap my head around it, because they're decimating their own credibility. People are seeing now, man. And that's why I think accounts like mine are starting to get popular. There's a lot of other people that are having alternative takes. It's like, look, man, even if you're a true alternative voice and you're an independent voice and you're supporting Pierre, fine, but scrutinize him a little bit. We used to know inherently that it's upon us, the citizenry, to scrutinize the public servants. That's how we ensure that everything's above board. But in Canada, the tribalism is different. It's like we get in our little political party. We're in that now. And if someone criticizes our leader, we don't defend the criticism. We don't have a substantive response for them to, dispel their concerns. We attack them. We jab back instinctively. And jabbing back is getting nowhere. It's getting us nowhere. It's like, it's not hockey teams, guys. It's the government. And I'll tell you, man, I know everything's hyper polarized right now, but the left and the right in Canada have far more in common with each other, despite our ideological disagreements, despite the ideological incongruencies. And I get it. And they're immense presently, but they're put at the forefront. At the end of the day, it's a populist struggle. It's populism. It's not ideological. We should be endeavoring to ensure that our institutions have integrity and they're all above board. Because right now, it certainly doesn't seem it. I mean, provincially, right across the entire country, it's phenomenal. I looked at a video today relative to digital ID, and it was Danielle Smith introducing the Alberta wallet. And I have to, again, I look at their body language, I look at their facial expressions, I listen to the tone of their voice. She was uncomfortable giving this speech, telling about the introduction of this for government services. It's like she knows, man. They know. And somehow they're rationalizing or justifying doing it anyway. And that scares me, because I see it as plain as day. I'm to the point where I'm convinced. I'm not going to go crazy here and yell at people to see what I'm seeing. I endeavor to show you the door, but you have to walk through it. And it's never been easier to see, with that said. So let's check some questions here. So, Prairie, isn't it sickening? I seen that total failure of an opposition leader a long time ago. Yeah, Pierre Poilievre showed all of his cards several times along the way. I'll tell a bit of the story I was telling that I forgot about. It's that I think they propped up all of these CPC guys to attack the PPC, and at the same time, they knew that Andrew Scheer wasn't going to cut it. So what do? They prop up Pierre Poilievre for the leadership, and they make the leadership race. He was against Jean Charest, and they make it about conservatism or populism versus the more centered liberal thing. It was all a psyop. I met Pierre twice. I went to some rallies. I supported the Conservative Party. I supported Pierre Poilievre. Had a conversation with him. I have a ridiculous picture of me with him. But then he started to show his hand right away. All we got was feckless sloganeering rhetoric. I remember when Christine Anderson came from Europe, true European populist, and a few of his ministers met with them, and they like, that was the beginning of the end. And then, like, pandering to all of the immigrant groups, the various immigrant groups, dressing up in their cultural garb while weaponized mass migration and these temporary worker programs are running roughshod over our electorate, over our economy, over our housing market. He's supporting this. But nothing showed his hand more than when the trade war thing started with Trump. For me, that was it. He was verbatim, had the exact same approach as Carney, and it stole all his thunder. It was very evident that we were dealing with just two sides of the same establishment at that point. For me, I was onto it a bit before then, but I'm a skeptical guy, so maybe I just caught it. But I'll tell you, I started mentioning Pierre Poilievre and my suspicions that he's in on it well before the election and making content to that effect. And initially I got just crazy resistance, and still I do. I encounter people all the time. You're not helping. It's like they can't break their mind out of interpreting everything in a right-left framing. It's us versus them. We got to save it from the lefties. It's like, what is the left? Who is the left? I mean, beyond your ragtag Antifa type, super woke university student types, like most people aren't that. They aren't what's in your mind when you say the left. And the same with the right, man. When people say the right, it's not this ethno-nationalist, ultra-nationalist, mask-wearing, boot-wearing fucking scary-ass dude. That's not the right. Most people on the right want less government and less tax. Most people on the left have their own preferences as well, but we're not divided in these groups. It's not that distinct. And it's like they're endeavoring to foment this division. Everything's also in Canada. It's a racial struggle session. It's again, I go back to my Maple Maoism comment, man. It's like a cultural revolution. And they want us divided based upon every variable metric. They will misdirect us to look at anything, bringing Trudeau back and Pierre Poilievre's fake conservative podcast tour. Why doesn't he come on my show? Why don't you come on here, Pierre Poilievre? I'll be very respectful to you, but I have some hard questions. I would love to ask you some hard questions. I don't think you've ever answered one in your entire leadership. Not one. You do that performative charade where you're eating apples. This fucking dude, pardon my vulgarity, this gentleman, Pierre Poilievre, eats an apple and asks an arrogant left-leaning reporter a clarifying question. Oh yeah? Who said that? Eats his apple. And Canadians are still enamored by that. That's enough. It's like, don't look around at your neighborhoods, guys. Don't look at the prices of everything, the devaluation of our currency, the state of our housing market, our prospects moving forward, the budget. Don't look at the censorship bills they're trying to ram down our throats or the digital ID. Pierre Poilievre ate an apple last year, and they're still sharing it, man. Look at that Table Salt account was sharing it yesterday. Just like, wow, man, that's enough for you guys. That's enough for you guys. Absolutely shocking. So we got about 221 people watching. If you guys could please share the stream, it would be greatly appreciated. I'm getting a warning that says from StreamYard saying it can't post comments to some destinations. Weird. I know I'm not getting all of the comments. I see them after the show. So we got Elaine. JP, on a previous podcast with Chris and Payman, you discussed what you thought would be the outcome if Pierre got in, that it's all part of the plan to bring him into finish. Well, yeah, absolutely. That was actually Chris that said that. He feels Carney's in here as an economic hitman. He's going to do all this damage. He's going to alienate the electorate from him, and then they're just going to ship it back over to Pierre. There has to be a reason Pierre agreed to lose that last election. Pierre lost that last election. Look at all of the controversy in his district with the redistricting. He didn't say anything about that. He just lost gracefully. Why? Because they needed him to go to Alberta. Isn't funny too? The one province that has had a robust independence movement going on and are way more traditionally conservative. It's like that's where Pierre's going to go run. Oh, that's not to quell that momentum of that movement. Of course it was, guys. We're watching a movie. It's in the writing team. Like I said, it's not even believable anymore. It's sensational. Everyone's talking about Justin Trudeau. the globalist WEF fall guy. I'm not trying to trivialize what Trudeau did. I think if it's true, what it seems, it's treason. But I think all of them are guilty of the same thing. I mean, they're working with, it's a public-private partnership, and they're implementing an agenda that goes against the wishes of their constituents. Yeah, I think they should all be in jail, but it's besides the point. Presently, right now, it's that Penn and Teller misdirection. Have the electorate looking up here while some shit's going on down here. And the shit down here is Bill C8 and C9. That's the end. This is the hill for the Canadian citizenry. Because when we lose this, we're truly absent political recourse. And that's when things truly get dangerous. And it seems like they're endeavoring to foment this to that extent. They want control. I think of it like a good analogy. It's like a fistful of sand. It's like the Canada as it is, the ruling class, they're squeezing it, man. And they're squeezing so hard that more sand is inevitably pouring through their fingers to the extent now where there's a lot of sand outside of their grip. And we're desperately endeavoring to explain what's happening to our country. And it's funny because there's a lot of independent voices on here. We all don't line up and see things perfectly the same, but there are true independents on X, on social media, on TikTok, on YouTube. But they're not the ones that are getting the attention. It's these fake synthetic accounts, man. And it's not because they have thought-provoking content. It's not relative to their intellectual insights regarding anything political. It's just relative to their sensational hero worshipping. And that's why I think they've never been more susceptible. That's why I've been calling them out more now. It's like people can't continue to believe in this just thinly veiled facade. It's becoming increasingly evident, and we're winning more people over. And that's honestly, that's why I think we're all so immensely deboosted now. We're being efficacious in waking up parts of our electorate. People, it's like I say, man, the truth just hits people differently. You can have floating head, culture war, grifting, monotone Mario up there reading you some rage bait. He wants to enrage the conservative aspect of the electorate to keep us locked in this dialectic, in this uniparty. That's all he's doing. Like I said, I watch that guy's content, and just the monotone of his voice and the flow, it makes me sleepy. Like I feel like I'm being sedated or dumbed down in real time. But you guys all love Mario. Mario's got all kinds of action. Everyone's following him. They're shitting on me. Shut up, man. It's Mario. It's like, man, who's Mario? And what's he saying? Because I don't hear anything insightful. I don't hear any depth. I don't hear any true interpretations of anything. I just hear him reading rage bait news stories. He's a culture war grifter. He's culture war grifting. He's utilizing this moment, in our desperate moment in Canada. He's utilizing this to inflate his ego. That floating head of his is getting bigger every day. He's using this moment to inflate his ego and to line his pockets. And he can act like, I don't need money. I got all kinds of money. Dude, he's bringing in some money. 100%. You could say, oh, yeah, that's not his motivation. It's like, sure, it's not. It's never anyone's motivation. Money. What a novel concept that is. But yeah, I just wanted to touch base with you guys today. I probably won't be back the next 3 days. I will be working at my real job, which is rough, to be honest with you. But I wanted to come on and just address this scene right now. If I can endeavor to make you think of one thing, it's just really look at who you're getting your information through presently. Look at what they're saying, and more importantly, look at what they're not saying. Because anyone right now, Pierre Poilievre is the official opposition. He has the second biggest stage, the second biggest soapbox in the country to inform the Canadian people. The fact that he himself personally is silent regarding C8 and C9, it's kind of tells you all you need to know, guys. And it really does. So keep that in mind. I'm going to keep it short today. I want to thank you all for watching and sharing and interacting. And I'll be back on Monday with a brand new episode. This is Dumb the Wiser. My name's JP Berg. Cheers, guys.